My name is Dr. Kesha Catlin. I'm a principal broker as well as a speaker and an author. The name of my business is KC Realty Group. We're located in the DMV. I have an office in Virginia as well as one in Fort Washington, Maryland.
Okay.
But I'm a serial entrepreneur. So that's who I am. I've always been this girl, right, for the past, 35 years,
Yeah.
right? I've always been an entrepreneur, businesswoman, just kind of trying to lead the way. I guess
Yeah.
that's me. I'm a mom, two grown children. I'm a new grandma.
Oh,
Okay.
you are a
Yes.
fine grandma there.
Yes. I have a little superstar. So absolutely, I'm building a legacy for her. And hopefully she'll be sitting in this chair,
One day,
right?
yeah. I love
So
that. Can't wait.
exactly.
And now, give us a little bit of a backstory about how you got into the real estate industry, how
Yeah.
you became an author, a public speaker. What led you to all these journeys?
That's an interesting question, Lil. And if we had 3 hours, I could go all into it, but I'm going to shorten it just for you.
That would be wonderful.
I've been, like I said, an entrepreneur all of my life, right? From boutique owner to day spa owner, holistic care. I've written 6 books in my life. I became a restaurant owner. And when I was a restaurant owner, that's when I really decided to kind of get into real estate investing. I hired all young people. Right. And so it's kind of like, yeah, you can't be a server forever. And if you are going to
Hmm.
be a server, we got to turn the tip money into something like an asset. So, because I was an investor at the time, I started to kind of teach my staff on how to buy real estate, how to do the cohabitating with different people renting the different rooms. Because, you don't have a lot of money in hospitality,
Yeah.
but if you put it all together, you can build an asset. So, as a restaurant owner, I did that for 15 years.
Wow.
Yes, 15 years, right? But within that 15 years, I must have came across over 400 millennials, right?
Yeah.
And I said, wow, even though I own real estate, I don't have a license, right?
Hmm.
So I myself went back and I said, I'm gonna study and see. I'm gonna get my license
Yeah.
and then it'll open up more opportunities. So I did that. And when I did it, I passed my real estate license. I decided I'm getting rid of the restaurant because I figured out quickly, like, I like to be on this side.
Yeah.
So definitely I did that. And when I did it, it just kind of like changed my whole life, my whole outlook as well, because
Hmm.
what I saw was the impact that I had on young people. So for my first few years as a real estate agent, literally I focused on helping young people become homeowners.
Wow.
And so I'm very, very passionate about giving back to the community and to individuals. And it just seemed like this was my wheelhouse. This is where I belong.
Absolutely.
And as you probably know, as a business owner yourself, you can't just stop at real estate agent. I wanted to open my own brokerage because then obviously the sky becomes the limit,
Yep.
right? So I did that. And in my brokerage, we formed property management. I hire young people to be property managers as well as real estate agents. I encourage young people to get
Yeah.
their license. And so right now I have a small brokerage, a small brokerage firm, and I'm surrounded by young folks every day. So I love it, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of got into the real estate. Being a speaker, I've always from going to high school,
Yeah.
speaking to high schoolers. I mean, I love that career day. I think they called it career day back then.
Hmm.
I did a lot of that in Anne Arundel County, just going around to different high schools, being a public speaker, motivational speaker, and I loved it. So I wrote my first book. It's called Battling the Enemy Within, Fear, How to Live a Fearless Life. And that's my first book. And out of all 6 books that I've written,
6.
6, right? That first one is really the one because that book I was able to do short stories for that resonated with different people. So when you read the book, even though if you're not the character, you can say that is me.
Hmm.
And it just shows a person really going through life and really battling that enemy, which is fear.
Yeah.
We all have it sometime, but I like to teach people how to overcome it.
Absolutely.
And so once I started doing that, that's really what I speak about when I go and speak at different auditoriums or different markets. I talk about no matter where you are, life, relationship, business, we all have a little fear, but this is how you can battle it to continue on your
Yes.
journey. So
Absolutely.
that's kind of like in a nutshell how I
I
got
love
here,
it.
But if I went all the way back, it would be my grandmother,
Mm.
who really instilled in me about, yeah, of course, you want to go on, you want to get your education, you want to do this, you want to do that, but don't forget about people.
Yeah.
So as you're moving forward, always reach back. Don't look back there,
No.
but reach back, pull somebody along, and help them throughout, during their trials and tribulations, but and be an inspiration. So just watching her and my mom, an entrepreneur, it's kind of like I loved it. I love being involved, and I'm so blessed and
Yeah.
thankful that they included me and taught me that. So now when I look back with my own kids and my granddaughter, I was like, that's exactly what I'm doing. So I
Yeah,
feel like I'm like
exactly.
doing the right thing. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. You're so lucky to have had those two powerful women in your life, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Mhm.
don't know what I would who would I be, right? We all would be somebody, but it's like
Yes.
I had a role models to look at and to say, "Oh, I feel good right here.
Mhm.
I like it." And it feels extra great right now just to be able to live in my purpose,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Um, Now, your team specializes in residential and
Hmm.
commercial sales and management.
Yeah.
How do you ensure that your clients receive tailored expertise throughout their real estate transactions?
Yes, that's a really, really great question, Lil. The number one thing, my philosophy at the brokerage and with any realtor that I bring into my brokerage, and it is people first. Everybody's an individual, right? So we have to first look at them as an individual,
Yes.
right? And once you do that, obviously in the real estate industry, we have all the regulations, we have all the rules and stuff you have to follow, and that's going to be number one,
Mhm.
right? But number two, a really close number two of that is really knowing your client. Everybody's in a different place. There's first time home buyers, there's third home buyers, so some people are well versed in how to do it, and some really need that direction. So, in my brokerage, we believe in starting where you are.
Yes.
Starting where you are and then helping, not leading the way, but walking the way with you. So it's a
Yes.
clear partnership. And at the end is that golden ticket that we all want. And that is the set of keys, right? No matter what. And when we hand those over, we then become partners for life.
I love
That's
it.
what I call it. Partners for life. People say to me all the time, oh my goodness, how do you cold call? Do you do this? And I'm like, no. Literally, it's like I have partners for life. So when they get the keys, I don't leave them there. I'm always calling, what's going on? How is the kids? What's happening? How's the yard? Did you need a maintenance person? Oh, by the way, I have my annual summer jam. Are you coming?
Yeah.
The crab feast. It's like bring the whole family. So when you become a partner for life in any business that you're in,
Yeah.
you're always going to have clients. You're always going to have referrals. You're always going to have that because you lead from authenticity. So when
Yes.
you're authentic and transparent in your business and you role model this, clients just kind of like, they're like, I love it here.
Yeah. And you providing just that extra touch, not just like, okay, here's the keys. It was great. You're like, by
No,
the way, I noticed that too. Did you want somebody to help you with that? Because I know a person, like
absolutely.
just going that extra step.
Absolutely. And even with doing that, the real reason I learn in business is that you have to create your own database
Mm.
of partners that are kind of like their philosophy is just like yours. You're like you have a zhuzh, you're like yummy, you're like peanut butter and jelly.
Yes.
So it's like I'm gonna share my peanut butter and jelly with you.
I love it.
So it's like, yeah, you can find all kinds of plumbers, but is it yummy? You
Mm.
have to be yummy. You have to be my peanut butter. I have to be your jelly.
Yes.
And then when we do it, we share it with my clients. And I really, because I've done that so long in my life, I find that yeah, my little database is small, but it's very powerful
Yep.
because they are in alignment with who I am and I'm in alignment with them. So even though we're partners for life, they're my partners for life too.
Yes.
So I just love it. It's like a win-win. When you
Mm-hmm.
lead from a win-win, you cannot
No,
lose.
you cannot.
There are no losers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love the
Absolutely.
peanut butter and jelly analogy. That was great.
Absolutely.
Making me hungry over here.
Yes.
And you emphasize personalized service, treating each client as a priority. Can you share a memorable experience where this approach significantly impacted a client's real estate journey?
Absolutely. I have so many
Ooh,
stories because everybody is essentially different, right? And you, as in real estate, we start off like, oh, it's all happy, happy. And then we get into the midst of it and anything can happen. I've had clients get all the way to the end and something happens. Maybe they need a document or maybe the home inspection didn't turn out the way they thought it would be, you know. But even with that, it's all in how you deliver
hmm
the news. It's all in how you maneuver the situation. And I've I probably could share with you so many different reviews of if my clients could come and be like live right now,
Yeah.
they would say, we never knew when there was really a problem because she always smiled, she was always upbeat. And I believe in that. Whenever it's that fear thing again.
Yes.
Whenever, because clients get fearful, especially first time home buyers, they get put through the ringer. So they don't know what to expect. They have the guideline, but they just, when they get the phone call from the lender, they don't know. But I always tell anyone in every situation, it's like, don't be afraid. Literally, we're going to win.
Yeah.
Because in my mindset, it's like, even if you don't get this house, you are still a winner.
Yeah.
And from the beginning, that's what I instill in my clients. So one good situation would be a first-time home buyer. And I must have took her. She probably seen like, I know a good maybe 20 houses, 20 condos.
Mm.
And it wasn't because she didn't like anything. It's because of the way her lending was going to work. Is like one moment she was approved, the next moment something happened. It was a program that she was in, and it was a really strict program. And even I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I could like survive in that
Oh
program either.
no.
It's so stressful. But I remember being under contract with her, and literally she had used her credit card to get some gas. I'm talking like $10, $15. And the program was kind of like, you weren't supposed to use your credit
Oh
card,
no.
even though she paid it off. But literally, she had to start the process all over again. It was
No.
devastating for her. And literally, I remember waiting like 6 or 7 months. You know, you kind of have to let people get through their emotions. And I remember saying to her one day, I said, so it's been like 6 months, and I know you really like that condo. Are you still in the program? She was like, yeah, I started all of, because you got to start the
Oh
process over.
boy. Yeah.
So I said, hey, let's get back out. Let's do it again. And I made a joke. I said, and let me hold your credit cards. Call me when you need gas,
I
right?
got you.
So for when we're sitting there waiting to go through, she found another place and she gave me the credit cards. I literally have a picture of me have her credit cards in my office. And she literally called me for gas, and I literally paid for this gas
Oh,
because,
but
that was her thing. And she ended up with the keys. But it's that thing. It's like some agents wouldn't do it, but
no,
for
yeah.
me, I wanted to take a bad situation for her and make it into something funny.
Yes.
At the same time, knowing that I'm helping her, because that was her habit. She paid for gas, groceries, and sometimes it's tough to break a habit. If she's older, you're used to doing it. But that very moment, she was like, my realtor really, really made the experience so fun because I was so down and out. I was so fearful that I couldn't do it. And she literally bought my gas. So it's like a good story to
It
tell
is.
because even for me, I couldn't believe I was doing it. But at the end, I said, wow, it taught me a lot about myself. And it's
Right?
kind of like, it's not even about me.
Yes.
I'm like, this lady, she deserves that condo,
Yes.
and she deserved the program because I'm a stickler to, if you can receive grant money, she had student loans, that's what it was. So she had to do a certain program because, was getting her doctorate. So you have thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get a traditional loan, right? So this program helped her. They didn't include it, right? It was through Bank of America. Awesome program, but just strict.
Yep.
So I said, she deserves it. She's gone to school. She's getting her education. She's a beautiful person. And so, yeah,
Working hard. Yeah.
let's do it, right? So that's one of the stories that resonate with me, and that just shows kind of like who I am as a person. Is something that I didn't even think twice about it.
Yeah.
I just felt like, I don't know, it was just credit card. I don't know. Who cares,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But she got the keys.
That's
And
so wonderful.
partners for life. And so today I must have sold like maybe 10 or 14 of her friends' properties.
Oh my gosh, look at
Just
that.
instant.
Word of mouth.
You
From that
know,
experience, one of a
That's what
kind.
happens. When you give out good always come back to find you.
Yes.
Without even looking.
Yes,
So,
I
yeah.
agree 100% with that right there. And now it sounds like you are just top notch with your clients. You definitely prioritize them. When it comes to marketing,
Yeah.
so it's a lot of word of mouth, but are you doing anything online, like making
Oh,
videos,
yeah.
content? What's working, what's not working for you?
So I have a huge social media following. That I love social media. Some people they get on there and they're kind of like not authentic. And sometimes my manager, she says, oh my God, did you really put that? And I'm like, yeah, because people love to see who you really are.
Yes.
Okay. Have I sold a house from social media? No. But have I sold tons of books? Yes. Because people want to know who is it? Who is this person? So I love social media. My following is pretty big. I have over 250,000 followers,
Whoa.
right? On Instagram alone is about 134,000 followers. And I love Instagram because on Instagram, you don't have to say it much.
Yeah.
People love to see the pictures and the videos and stuff like that. So I love it. I love it. Everything that I do all day. I think the social media manager I have, she must post maybe like 6 or 7 times a day. So
Hey.
they send her stuff all the time because I'm like, I want people to see my world. When
Yeah.
I'm cooking, I want them to see it. I want them to see me when I'm beautified. I want them to see me when I'm just going to the mailbox.
Yep. Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
That's me. So I love it. But I started with Facebook.
Mm.
And it's interesting because my daughter is kind of like, nobody does Facebook. I'm like, all of my folks do.
You'd
Like,
be surprised, girl.
listen, I'm 51. Everybody I know is on Facebook. And I
Gosh,
have,
you look so good.
thank you. I have that. That's like the most engagement because I resonate to people in my generation. On Instagram, I kind of got to keep it fun and light, right? Because I
Yep.
got like the hip people over there.
Yeah.
But I love it because the hip folks is what keep me young because I'm always scrolling through to see, oh, what's new, what's
What's new?
going on,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And TikTok is something that I love too.
Do you
Haven't
dance?
Okay, here's the thing. I believe that I'm a great dancer, but when it comes to following how to dance,
Oh, okay.
I might have a problem with that, right? It'll take a lot, like a whole lot of different tries to get it right. But I think that's the funnest thing to do
Mm-hmm.
on TikTok.
Yep.
So yeah, I love social media. I mean, when they tried to ban TikTok, I was so confused that morning. I was like, what's going on?
No,
I want to see
why?
my videos, right?
Yeah.
So I love it. I think people should embrace it,
Yes.
and share what you want to share.
Mm-hmm.
Some people share everything, some people just share what they want. And there's some amazing realtors and brokerages that really hone in to the social media sphere and they really do well.
Yeah.
So if you looked on my timeline, Instagram, you will see my thing says real estate and lifestyle. That's
Uh-huh.
the heading.
Yep. I
Because
love
I'm
it.
like, I want you guys to see everything and have fun with it, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I love it.
That is awesome. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for sharing that because I
you're
know a lot of
welcome.
people don't embrace social media or they
Yeah,
want to kind of not, but in this day and age now, you've got to put
you've
yourself
got
out
to.
there.
Everybody's looking at their phone.
Yep.
Even when I'm at my iPad, I'm literally like, click, click. I'm like looking on to see what's going on. I mean, it's there,
Yep.
right? And we should utilize it and it's free,
Yes.
right? So free marketing, because I remember having a restaurant, I paid for my marketing. Back then, it was so expensive. I remember every month it was like $4,000 or $5,000 just to talk about happy hour. And the soup, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
really, for the half off drink, really, I'm paying for this,
Yeah.
right? So when social media came around, started to get really big, I remember like some of my servers were like, Miss Kesha, you need to get on Facebook. You got to put the restaurant on there. I was like, what? And it grew big because I was like, oh, people really are using social media. And it was free. And check out the savings.
Yep.
I quickly got rid of that advertising firm. I was like, I don't need you anymore. I got the young people to do my stuff, right?
Right. Yep.
So I love it.
I love it. And I love how you embrace it, like you said. So kudos to you on that.
Yeah,
I'm going to have
thank
to, I
you.
don't think I've followed you yet. I may have stalked you, but not
Ah,
followed you. So let me go ahead and do that
yeah,
now.
check it out. Yes.
Thank you. And then your homebuyer handbook is a valuable resource for clients. What inspires you to create this guide and how has it benefited your clients in making informed decisions?
So that's probably the biggest download that I have from my real estate website is because people need a guide. Everybody needs a map in life, So if you are trying to open a business, you need a map. If you want to buy investment, you need a map. If you're a first-time home buyer, you need a map because it's called empowerment. I believe people should empower themselves. And one way to do it is to be a reader. So readers are leaders. If you read it, if I read something, I can kind of lead my way. And along the way, I can ask questions. So I believe in that. Even when I do seminars, I'm like, people say, oh, do you always do a map? I always have a map.
Got to.
That's why I said I appreciate your video. It was literally a map. Because I was like, I do a ton of podcasts, but you never know what to expect, where to park, who am I going to see, what does she look like? You never know. So I really appreciated that. So the home buyer booklet, I love it. It's short because attention spans are not that long because we're competing with social media,
Correct.
right? So it's very short, very to the point, and it allows for questions. So some of my first-time home buyers today, I do like a virtual, so I'll get them all on there. They start at the same time most of the time, And I'm like, it's called 100 Keys. That's what I
Mm.
call it. So
Okay.
I try to touch 100 first time home buyers every year. So I try to do 25 a quarter, right?
Okay.
So they start the same time and they all get the same booklet, right? And then what happens is then they all kind of get into different levels. Some need credit improvement, some need to have more savings, some are right there. So they just glazing through.
Yep.
But it allows for the roadmap. So when they're going through it, when we do the virtual, I know exactly where you are because they're like, oh, we're working on that credit. We're doing this. And I saw in there, if we use these letters, we can send them in. It's that
Beautiful.
roadmap. So that's probably the number one download I have from not just first time home buyers, but from parents that maybe want to educate their college student on buying a property. They download it. So it's for everyone.
And it's
Actually,
free
it's free.
and it's on your website?
It's on my website, Kesha Catlin Realty. Kesha Catlin Realty Group.com. That's what it is.
Beautiful.
Yes,
That is
yes.
awesome. So you guys heard that. If you need a resource, need some help, check it out and
It's right
download
there.
that. Thank
Absolutely.
you. And then, in addition to real estate, you run an online boutique called Phoenix. How do you manage these diverse business interests and do you find synergies between them?
That's interesting. So Phoenix was going to be a restaurant. It turned into a catering business, actually.
Mm.
So that has since closed. But
Okay,
I
okay.
do have several businesses. One is KC Speaks. That is me, motivational speaker. I have Property KC Realty Group is the brokerage. I also have a property management division. And in the property management division, it's not just residential, it is commercial, and we do asset management as well. So we do a lot of work with different banks in the area
Okay.
for real estate owned properties. So that's a big piece. And then I guess if I wanted to talk about what's coming up, I will be opening up a construction firm. So
Okay.
yes, you have to
Girl.
empower yourself,
Yeah.
right? But what it is in the real estate industry, every single realtor out here have run into needing construction or contractor or something, right? And so I have my wheelhouse of vendors anyway. And all the time, they always say to me, if you had a construction company, literally, we will align with you
Mm.
because you are just awesome. The business that I share and I pass along to them is like into another stratosphere, right? So I said, wow, I'm going to go ahead and do that. When I look at the Turner Constructions in DC, it's inspiring to me because it's like, wow, one day my name will be on that building, and so I can see it already. So it's like, why not do the work? Why
Yeah,
stop? Right? You should
absolutely.
always continue to move forward in your life to impact others.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I love how you're always dreaming so big and you're like, all right, time to the next
absolutely.
venture. Let's
Yeah,
go.
like this is good. Let's just keep moving, right?
Absolutely.
When folks go to my personal website, which is drkeshacatlin.com, they can see so much about me, right? Exactly who I am, my books, they see so many things, but most importantly, they see inspiration because it's like, listen, I started just like everybody. And when I'm starting a construction company, it's just like starting a new thing. I
Yeah.
don't know. Listen, I know my vendors, but you have to know about the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to do that work. And I encourage people, whatever is in your heart, whatever you think your purpose is, don't even listen to other people. Really sit down and be intentional about
Yeah.
and just go out and get it. So,
I love it.
yeah.
When can we expect that to open or debut?
Yeah, I would say probably in 2026.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, because with construction, you have to get certain licenses as well. And I do believe in doing the work. I do believe in just really studying and really get what I need and building the right team.
Yes,
I believe,
absolutely.
and sometimes to build the right team, it takes time. You know,
Tell me about that journey.
yes.
How do you have your current dream team and what did it take to get there? Talk to me about the ups and downs about that.
Yes, yes. So I always tell people this: it's okay to clean out your trunk.
Hmm.
So if you go out and you open, because my life partner, he has a clean trunk. There's absolutely nothing in it, and I'm like, how can
How?
your trunk be clean? Like, who does that? If you open my trunk, I have so much stuff in it.
Same.
But he said to me one day, he was like, you should clean your trunk out in your life, in your business, clean it out. And when you clean it out, you're going to see that the items that are left, that's what's good for you.
Yep.
And so literally when I went through cleaning them out my trunk one day, I had a lot of stuff in there. And then I started to just look back in my life and say, yeah, When you're a restaurant owner, a bar owner, you have a lot of stuff in your trunk. And when I started to just really hone in and clean it out and really start to have real relationships, because I call them real relationships. We have relationships, but then there's real ones.
Yeah.
There's ones where they sit around the table with you and they're not afraid to say, Kesha, you're doing too much. And you have to receive that.
You got to have that.
You got to have that, right? Versus everybody on the same page.
Yes.
You know? So it took some time to really just go through and figure it all out. But I encourage it. As a matter of fact, I did a seminar. It had to be like 10 years ago. And it was essentially that, how to clean out your own trunk,
yeah.
right? And from that seminar, the women that were in there, they were like, this was so amazing because they didn't know what to expect from it. But really, it's resonated with your life and with your business, with your career. Whatever's happening, you have to first have a clean trunk.
Yeah.
And then you put in only what you need.
Yes.
And always, on a continual basis, go back and revisit and clean it out, right? So that dream team, I always tell people, they're there. You just have to take a moment to determine who it is and what you need. And not only what you need, but what do they need?
Yes.
Right? Because a dream team also doesn't stay forever.
No.
I learned that with the restaurant business. So many people came into my life to help, different consultants, to give different advice, and you get tied to them, but then you realize they weren't supposed to be here for like ever. They were here for a season or a chapter.
Yes.
And it's good to turn the page sometime, to go to the next chapter.
Yes.
Like, what's next? So I learned that, and I always lean heavy on the restaurant business because the restaurant business is a very hard business, but it's a business where you only have relationships.
Yeah.
You're gonna sink or swim.
That's why you're so prepared,
That's it, right? That's it. So yeah, the dream team, I love it. And so when I look at the construction business and really formulating that, I talked to Chris, I was like, we're gonna keep it nice and small. But most importantly, I'm going to get mentored by someone that's doing it.
Yes.
So right now I'm in the process of sending out proposals for me to be mentored by other CEOs of construction companies and for free. I just want to get in their sphere and I just want to learn what they know.
Soak it all.
That's it. And be a part of their celebrations, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully in return, they will celebrate with me in 2026, right?
That. Yes.
So, yeah.
That is a great plan. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah,
it's going to be
absolutely.
amazing and another nice venture and journey for you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, definitely.
Awesome.
Yes.
Is there anything that I have not touched on that you would like to share with our listeners or your audience?
I guess if I want to share anything, it really wouldn't be like any business venture coming up because I just talked all about that. I guess if I want to share something, I would just say, listen, I want to be the example for everyone. I want people to see the authentic Kesha. Whatever, look on my page, see whatever you see, but just know this, I was very intentional about where I wanted to go. And I really, really want people to know that when you have good intentions for yourself, your life, and it's okay to choose you. Like, choose you, right? And when you choose yourself and be very intentional about it, you will find that people will gravitate towards you because of who you are. Absolutely. That is right there will eliminate a lot of folks because when they don't resonate with you, they won't even approach.
Yes.
But when we're in tune, mind, body, and soul, we're walking in our own light. Believe me, nobody can stop you. If you put the work in, everything that your heart desires, you will definitely have it. So that's one thing I want to leave people with. Anytime I have a platform to speak to anyone, whether it be podcasts, radio, TV, or just online, I'm always encouraging people to do not be fearful. Like, I know you don't even know what's around the corner, but go ahead and cut the corner.
Yes.
Go and do it. Whatever it is, you can get through it.
Yeah.
Just be intentional about it.
Man, you gave some great nuggets of wisdom here. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I love everything about us. Alamon. I love everything about it, from your video. I love your space. It feels so zenful. Some podcasts are a little rigid when you go in, or warehouse style, but this is so beautiful, and you were really beautiful, Lil, and thank you so much for having me.
Kesha, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Oh my God, you're amazing. Thank you.
Thanks.